I was watching a movie. My mom, my brother. I don't know what this movie is, but that's as good as El fucking Sincere.
Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. And right now, you can...
Ay, shawty bad, and she fine, fucking with.
Did you know that dolphins consume one of the deadliest poisons in the world just to get high from it? So here's what happens. A group of dolphins will surround a pufferfish, and then they take turns lightly biting and poking it, just like a group of teenagers sharing something they shouldn't. And then they even play catch with it, tossing it around in the air. And as you can imagine, the pufferfish starts panicking, so his defense mechanism activate, and he releases tetrodotoxin, which is one of the most deadliest poison in the world. It's so dangerous that just one pufferfish has enough to kill 30 adult humans. But dolphins figured it out already. They know exactly how much of that toxin they can handle without dying. They will pass that poor fish around for like 20 to 30 minutes. So instead of getting hurt because of the poison, they go into this super chill, relaxed state, just vibing, swimming slowly, and even watching their own reflections on the water like they're at a spa. The poor fish then take advantage of them being all high, and he swims away, traumatized but alive. Did you know that one of the most disturbing torture method in London involved rats? If you were alive in London, England during the medieval period, you would have definitely heard about the rat dungeon. Deep beneath the infamous Tower of London, there was a place who terrorized the most cruel criminals, a pitch-black chamber known among prisoners as the rat dungeon. Shackled in total darkness, victims weren't beaten or interrogated. They were simply left to the mercy of rats. You see, this dungeon was just below the waterline of the nearby river, and when the water level rises, something horrifying happened. Rats living along the riverbeds were flushed out of their burrows and driven downstream, right into the dungeon. At first, the prisoner would only hear soft little feet noises of the rats entering the dungeon, but the sounds grew louder and multiplied. Soon, dozens, then hundreds of rats would swarm into the cell. The prisoner, chained and blind in the darkness, couldn't see them, but he could feel the tiny claws crawling over his skin and sharp teeth biting his flesh. He might fight them off for hours, but at some points, exhaustion won. And when he fell asleep, the rats didn't stop. They kept devouring his flesh, and when he woke up again, his body was covered in bleeding bites. The cruelest part? This wasn't a one-time horror. Some prisoners were left in that cell for days, even weeks. What began as torture eventually became execution. Did you know that in some parts of the world, wild parrots have become addicted to opium? In southern India, these birds have developed such a strong hunger for the drug that they raid entire farms relentlessly, sometimes taking up to 40 hits of opium milk a day. Farmers, who grow the plants under strict licenses for medicinal use, have reported huge financial losses, and no scarecrow or noise cannon seems to be able to chase them away. Some parrots even fly off with entire opium pods, while being high as a kite. But the addiction comes at a deadly cost. When the harvesting season ends, the parrots experience intense withdrawal. Many are found falling from trees and power lines, unable to survive without their next dose. What's wild is that some experts believe younger parrots learn this behavior by watching older ones. It's like a drug epidemic, but with wings. And every year, when the new crops are planted, the cycle begins again. Opium isn't just addictive for humans. It's fatal for these birds, too. Did you know that dolphins are so smart that they are able to lie to get more rewards from others? In one famous experiment in Mississippi, USA, a dolphin called Kelly was trained to clean his tank by picking up trash and trading it for fish. But one day, Kelly started hiding pieces of trash under a rock, then bringing them up one at a time to get more fish. He literally discovered fraud. And that's not all. Some dolphins in marine parks have faked tricks or pretended not to understand command, just to get a better reward. This kind of behavior shows something deeper: planning, manipulation, and even deception. All signs of high intelligence. Psychologists call this tactical deception, and it's extremely rare in the animal kingdom. Only a few species, like apes and crows, have shown this level of clever thinking. But dolphins? They do it with a smile on their face. So next time you see a dolphin doing tricks, just remember, it might be performing, or it might be running a hustle. Did you know that octopuses have 3 hearts and blue blood to survive in deep sea? 2 of those hearts pump blood to the gills, where they absorb oxygen, and the 3rd heart is in charge of sending that oxygen-rich blood to the rest of the body. But here's the crazy part. When an octopus swims, the main heart stops beating. That's why they prefer crawling. It's less exhausting. Also, they have blue blood because of a copper-based molecule called hemocyanin. It helps them survive in freezing, low-oxygen waters where most animals would just die. Their brains are wild too. They have 9. 1 central brain and 1 mini brain in each arm. Every tentacle can think, feel, and even taste independently. Their arms are basically like self-aware limbs with a mind of their own, and some scientists literally call them the closest thing to an alien on Earth. So next time you're impressed by your multitasking skills, just remember, there's a soft-bodied sea creature out there that can taste with its arms, bleed blue, and turn its heart off on command. Did you know that New Zealand has a bird that gets drunk on fruit? Meet the Kareroo, a native New Zealand wood pigeon that's about the size of a chicken, and easily twice as big as your average city pigeon. With a shimmering green head, a snow-white chest, and a body built like a fluffy bowling ball, it looks majestic, until it starts day drinking. You see, the Kareroo loves eating ripe native fruits like karaka, miro, and puriri. When those fruits become overripe, they begin to ferment, turning into little balls of natural alcohol. And the Kareroo? It doesn't know when to stop. They'll eat up the fermented fruit until they're so drunk they can't fly straight. These birds get so drunk they fall out of trees, crash into windows, and stumble around like it's Saturday night. Scientists say it's due to a lack of the enzyme alcohol dehydrogenase, which in many animals helps break down ethanol. So instead of processing the alcohol, it hits them hard.
Did you know that in the Middle Ages a chicken's butt was used to cure wounds? By strapping them directly to the wound. It was called Vicary's method. The idea came from a 16th century English surgeon named Thomas Vicary. He believed the plague was a kind of poison in the body, caused by bad air or toxic vapors in the body, and that the healthy chicken would absorb it from his backside. Physicians would pluck the feathers off a chicken's backside, then tie the bare skin against the patient's swollen lymph nodes, aka their plague boils. If the chicken got sick or died, they believed the illness had been transferred into the bird. Then they'd toss the dead chicken and repeat the process with a fresh one. Sometimes they'd do this multiple times a day. It was gross, unhygienic, and unsurprisingly, did not work. But back then, people were desperate, and medicine was more guesswork than science. Of course, now we know the real cause was Yersinia pestis, a bacteria spread by fleas. So the next time you complain about modern healthcare, just remember, at least no one's rubbing chicken butts on your body.
Did you know about the parasites that takes control of an ant's body and literally turn it into a zombie? It's not science fiction. It's a real parasite called Ophiocordyceps unilateralis. So this is what happens. This nightmare begins when the ant unknowingly walks through fungal spores. Once infected, the fungus spreads through the ant's body, and then takes over its brain-releasing chemicals that hijack the ant's nervous system. The ant starts behaving weirdly, leaving its colony and climbing to a very specific height on a plant. Then, in one final move, the ant clamps its jaws onto a leaf or stem, and dies. But the parasites is just getting started. It grows a long stalk straight out of the ant's head, yes, out of its actual skull. Then it releases more spores into the air to infect the next unlucky ant. The fungus somehow knows the perfect humidity, light, and height for spreading. It doesn't just kill the ant, it uses it like a meat puppet. Scientists call it mind control at a microbial level, real-life zombification.
Did you know that black lemurs from Madagascar get insanely high by consuming a dangerous mixture of toxic chemicals? These cute little creatures might look innocent, but they've got a wild side. Most of the time, black lemurs stick to eating fruit, but sometimes it does love to consume a toxic combination of chemicals, which include cyanide. It's able to consume this when it finds a millipede and begins to lightly chew on it. This causes the millipede to curl up and release its toxins. Instead of backing off, the lemur takes this as a sign that it's party time. After just one bite, the lemur starts drooling like crazy. But there's actually a smart reason for it. They rub the mix of drool and poison all over their fur to keep mosquitoes away, in order to avoid malaria. Still, it's not all for protection. The lemurs keep going back for more, chewing on the millipedes again and again until they're completely high like a kite. In the end, they're so dazed, they just pass out and sleep it off.
Did you know that 100 unarmed men still can't take down a gorilla? Now, you've probably heard about this debate already, and most people picture a crowd of guys rushing in, ready to overpower the beast. It's true gorillas are gentle giants, and spend their days munching on plants and chilling with their troop. They look peaceful, until you learn what happens when they feel threatened. These massive apes pack a punch of up to 1,300 pounds of force, enough to snap or crush bone in a single blow. Sure, 100 men could swarm it, but the gorilla's muscle density is roughly 6 times that of a human's. So it's not about the number, it's about raw strength and instinct. A silverback gorilla can bench press over 1,300 pounds and deliver a bite force of 1,300 psi, enough to crush bones like crackers. That raw power makes 100 humans look like featherweights. But there's actually a survival hack in all this strength. Those same muscles and that massive bite help the gorilla strip tough vegetation and defend its family from real predators. So it's not just for show, it's built-in protection.